Alright, so this stuff came in. These are snap ties. We'll show you how they work. Those are the wedges that hold them on, and these hold the brackets on the bottom. We're not sponsored by them, but we get them on Amazon from Sandbaggy. Then you use some Tapcons, and you run the Tapcons in to hold the bottom. So we're gonna show you how this all goes together with the 3/4 OSB plywood. There's the little piglets. They love coming outside too now. They're having a little field day. Forgot to start recording it, but my skid steer muffler tail pipe, it's hard to see, fell off. So I just tacked it on. I'm going to weld it into place. Muffler, I can't get my hands on one, and if I can, they're like $300. So trying to budget money right now, it's a little tight. But the exhaust was blowing on the radiator, kept causing it to overheat. So I'll show you what it looks like when I get it all finished up. Got it welded the best I can. It's not the greatest, but it'll work. Had to be cautious. Metal's getting old and soft. Got the forms 3/4 of the way down. So here's the ties with the company Sandbaggy. They got the little plastic stops on them that butt against the 3/4 plywood. And they also have these brackets that sit down there that grab the edge of the plywood and keep it from moving in or out. And you just put a Tech screw or a Tapcon, sorry about that, through there, and it holds it from moving. We got to run a string and make sure our walls are straight, and then we can screw those into place. On the outside here, as you can see, there's two 2x4s, and we hold them together and run a screw through it so the bottom one doesn't fall down. And then these tabs go into the hole of the bracket there, and when you bang the bracket here with a hammer, it brings the tab over, and then you just put a screw in it, right, hard to see, right there, a little sheetrock screw just to keep it from moving. And then we ran the 2x4 across the top to help stabilize it, keep it from waving. And then we used OSB and made corners. So the building's all square right now. We just got to make sure our lines are straight. It looks pretty good, but make sure they're straight. And then, like I said, anchor the bottoms in. On the top of these ties is a little hoop right there, so we're going to put a piece of re-rod coming all the way down, and we'll bend them in the corner and come down. And we're also going to put verticals that come up to pin it, because we didn't want to put a keyway in there because we weren't exactly sure where the wall was going to sit. This is the first time doing it, so we're not skilled like regular concrete guys. But sitting up there on the footing, and we got some collars we're going to put across the top here to keep separation. Maybe it's a little overkill, not sure, but we're trying to do the job and save money. I'll get back to you here in a minute when we get the rest of this set up. Here we put our strings on there. We climb down in the hole. So as you can see, the wall's perfectly straight. We have the rebar in there. We have our blocks in there, so where the septic's going to go through, and then over in that corner is another block for where the radiant will go through, and then there'll be a mud room that joins the two of them together that the radiant runs through. We put our blocking on the top. Probably don't need it, just did it just in case. And then we have a 2x4 here, and then one of the form pins right there to keep the wall from deflecting. And do the concrete tomorrow. So From the middle point up to the top where a concrete will be is 18 inches. From here down is 18 inches. And then there's a 1x12 that the footings are done. So give us plenty of depth that we need for our frost. And then as you can see, this dirt pile is going to be just underneath that 2x4. So we're going to have about 3.5, almost 4 inches of the wall exposed out from the ground. And then the slab is going to get poured flush with the top wall. So that way there, we don't have to notch out for a threshold or anything. Going to keep it flush. Next thing to do is get the concrete poured. And that's coming in first thing tomorrow. So I won't unfortunately be able to be here. My friend's gonna come in and do it because I have to work. Started stripping the forms off on this side so you could see it. It came out pretty good, actually. The only spots we have is right here with these boards we put on there. We really actually didn't need them, but we did them as precaution. As you can see over right there, we'll just have to grind it down a little bit with a diamond wheel just to get it level. Well, the form strip off pretty good. Did a good job on it. We, down here at the bottom, there's like 4 inches of concrete between the wall and there. And it's a little wider down there. We made the footings, I believe, 16 inches wide, just to be cautious because it was the first time we were ever doing it. So we figured a little extra concrete didn't hurt. But as you can see, they ride pretty good right down the wall. So from the top of the wall to the bottom of the footing is 48 inches. So code for Connecticut is 42. So we figured we're going to be probably 3 inches out of the ground, but it gives us room for error just in case we got to be up a little bit more. So we figured we'd make sure we just did the full 4 foot. But as you can see, we're getting there. We got a storm coming in. Apologize for any wind in the background. I guess the Hurricane Debbie's coming up here is going to clash with a cold front. So there's a good chance of getting some nasty weather up here. The other thing too is these ties right here, you can cut them right off. They say snap ties, but I wiggle them back and forth until I was blue in the face. I'm just going to use the die grinder and cut them. They work really, really well for what they needed to do to hold the panels on. And then as you saw before we poured it, we have rebar in there. We have rebar going down into the footings. Went a little overkill on it, but we wanted to make sure it was right. And so, all right, well, I'm going to end the video here. If you guys would like to subscribe, we'd appreciate it. We're trying to grow the channel. Cannot do it without you guys. So any support we can get, and comments, please leave comments or hit the like button. All that helps to get us out there to a few more people. So we could use any help we can get. We appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much.